Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
This is the Geek Fruit Podcast with Jishnu and Tejas.
Hey guys, we're here on another episode of the Geek Fruit Podcast with me, Tejas, Jishnu, who's sitting across from me, and perpendicular to me is Dinkar.
Hello.
Who's also here on the episode. Hi, man.
Hey, what's up?
Monday!
It is good to be perpendicular from you guys.
That's a Sunday Bloody Sunday reference.
Yeah, okay,
That
cool.
works, right? That works.
Podcast.
Right? I was thinking about that.
No, what? Monday podcast.
Monday, podcast, Monday.
Well, you've
right?
changed
It
both.
kinda works.
Only the
sure.
melody.
You took a song about a brutal genocide and
I made
a
it
podcast
fun.
song. Yes,
It's a
cool.
fun day.
And you
today.
removed
It's
two
not
words.
Sunday. Sunday was bad. Monday is good. See what I did there?
I think he has a point there. You've got to leave one of the words in for it to be
For
a reference.
A reference, yeah. Well, the melody is the reference,
yeah,
yeah.
the
I
melody is
can't
the reference. Fair
believe the nerds today. Right?
Okay, yeah.
That works.
That's fine.
That's the first line.
Yeah, that's true.
Hold on, I'm just calling Bono. Hey, Bono, I've got an idea for a new song. Yeah, well, it's actually an old song. And we've changed both words.
So yeah, it's another episode. It's another week, and we're doing some. Wait, before that, man, I have to tell you some awesome stuff.
Uh-oh.
A glitch in the Matrix. I really want to talk
This
about
is
this.
not a glitch. You're
It's a
just
complete glitch. I really want to talk about it.
God.
So now Instagram has come out with this new feature which you can switch accounts. Finally, we were all really happy because they all manage our personal lives and the amazing public profile that is the Geek Fruit HQ. This is also a plug for it, so that's why I thought it would work well. So yeah, as you know, Instagram has like millions of followers, and just for all of these people, I just wanted to tell them, and Instagram, who I know listens to this. So here's the thing, my friend and also co-worker at Geek Fruit, Bashub, she signed into the Geek Fruit account and her account. I've signed into mine and the Geek Fruit account, and she's getting notifications from my account. It's like the drift from Pacific Rim, except, well, yeah, actually, pretty much that's what it is. But in a very non-cool, less Guillermo del Toro way.
I'm glad you're amused.
No, it's not cool, Instagram. Please
I'm
help
glad
this.
you're in
Yeah,
pain.
hey,
I mean-
get your stuff together, Instagram.
Yeah, Bashub and I are close, but hey, some things should be left to my news feed. Okay, so that's one thing. The other new app update that has come out is Tinder, which I went on after a while, and I found out that there's some new things on it.
Yeah, I opened it up for like the first time in like
Did
months.
Did you see what they've changed?
No.
So here's something.
Because I closed it very swiftly. I opened it up, I was like, no, I'm glad I kept it closed.
Yeah,
So I haven't
So
seen
now
anything.
they have added some new functionality to it where you can
What?
add GIFs to your conversation.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they
I
have a
saw.
small Tinder ad within the thing. So it's like
Hold on.
swiping.
Did
Yeah.
we say GIF?
Yeah.
Because I've
So
always
let's
been,
decide
I've
this
been
right
team
now.
GIF.
Yeah.
I've been GIF.
So it's GIF, and so apparently this is what it is. In the States, it's GIF.
Because it's graphic. It stands for graphic.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's GIF.
That's true, but
And
GIF,
over here
it
it's-
just works better as a word.
Well, I don't
GIF,
give
does it
a...
not?
I don't give a damn.
That was great.
All right.
I
You
do
can't say
things.
I can't GIF a damn unless you're talking about dishes, what you use is to clean them with.
What?
GIF.
I can do it in a jiffy, but I can't do it in a giffy.
Okay, that's true.
But I can gif a damn.
You could share a GIF in a jiffy, is what you could do.
Like the
I might
the
gift
dishwashing
you.
liquid.
I might
Sorry.
gift you my gif.
Don't, please
That's-
don't.
Do that on Tinder.
Does it sound wrong?
Wait, so gifts, and then there's a small ad on it where basically there's a guy who's like matched with this girl, and then he doesn't know what to say, so he first tries to say, "Hey man, how's it going?"
It's
Then
so
he deletes
good.
it.
Yeah, I
then
remember this.
he says, "What's up?" And then he's like, "No, that's lame." And then he adds a gif which is from the movie Aristocats.
Yeah.
So did they have to get rights from Disney for that clip? Do gifs required rights?
Of course,
Like
now there's GIFs of...
this is an
Damn it.
interesting question.
Oh no, I slipped up.
You're
I mean,
converted.
there are GIFs
We
of...
won you over. Done.
Oh no.
That's a good sound.
That's the sound of a potential sponsor. Yes. Okay.
You
so
mean
yeah.
aluminium?
Aluminium,
cans.
yeah.
Just not any brand. in
Don't you
particular.
mean aluminum? We're going to do this all day now. All right. So we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. The fact that we just didn't mention the brand that was in the aluminum can that we just spoke of is the very topic that we will be discussing: censorship. Is it a good
Wow.
thing?
I was really wondering how you were going to tie that in.
But I did it. Huh?
That was-
I did
stretch, but it works,
I
yeah.
totally
I
did
suppose.
it.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And we have a good, almost like the antithesis to censorship, which is Deadpool.
Yeah.
To talk
So
about.
basically what happened was we got invited to a secret screening of Deadpool a few days prior to its release in India.
1 day, in
via-
fact,
day
a
prior.
day
Precise.
prior, yeah, precisely a day prior. Thanks to our friends at Star Movies. Thanks for that.
Yeah, Star Movie Secret Hashtag Star Movie Secret Screening. Give us more.
So we had 2 tickets, and Tejas and I were going to go, but if you've been listening to us, you know that I make no secret about the fact that I really, I'm sort of a purist when it comes to movie watching, to a fault that I know, because like I have to be very specific about how and when I watch a movie. And so I didn't want to see the movie because it's R-rated and it's India, and so you just don't know how much they're going to cut. And this is the kind of movie that obviously I would have loved to see on the big screen and see the explosions and, giant 50 feet. But I would rather see it on a small screen, uninterrupted, knowing that I'm getting the product exactly as it was made. So Dinkar and Tejas saw it.
Yeah,
So-
because we're not good enough.
Because you guys are cheap.
We're cheap, and we really wanted to watch the movie. See, it's it's a thing where nerds, Jishnu. That's why we do that. Anyway, so moving on.
You have no standards.
But yeah, so we went for it. I was actually kind of hoping why we went for it is because the secret screening that we were going to watch was uncensored, but it was. And in a weird way, which we're going to talk about. We're also going to be talking about why this is happening in the first place. It comes really down to one man in the CBFC who we're going to scold. And we're going to do that. So we're going to take a short break and we'll listen to another podcast. We'll listen. One second, we can end the segment in a really cool way. Hey man, what's a good podcast to listen to?
If only there was an ad.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Maybe you could tell me.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. It's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Baum, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
Hi, welcome back after 30 seconds.
Not even. Was it?
More? Less?
No, less, no. 15?
I was not counting.
I was counting.
Okay. And how many seconds was it?
23.
Okay, if it's not 23, man, I'm gonna go back and listen to this. And that's what's gonna happen. So first of all, we're not, for the first time ever on a Geek Fruit podcast, and as you know, we've had hundreds of episodes where we do spoilery things. This is the first no spoiler edition of our podcast.
Yeah,
thanks to you, Jishnu.
Yeah, because if you spoil anything, I'm
damn
gonna
it.
kill you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah.
there
not
isn't
to
that
be.
much to spoil.
I agree. That's what I was gonna say. There's not much to spoil. There's no.
So don't spoil it.
There's no major.
spoil
So just
what
don't
little
spoil
that
that
is,
little
yeah.
that's spoilery.
I think that also helps because it's like a fairly unknown character to most people. It's also, I mean, it's a fairly new character. It's only like Deadpool's only come up in the last 15 years. I mean, out of which only one series kind of really made him who he is through Mark Waid and stuff.
Well,
And not
anywho, let's just get to it.
no, so I'm just giving a little intro to that. And so because of that, I think, so the movie, it's had an iteration before. Ryan Reynolds himself has done it in the movie that we shall
Wolverine
not... Yeah.
Origins? Was it called Origins?
It's called X-Men
X-Men
Origins.
Origins
colon
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine. And it was
X-Men
terrible.
Origins?
No,
Colon
X-Men Origins,
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
X-Men's colons.
That sounds like a joke from Deadpool.
Yeah. Does it?
Not really.
No, actually...
Because it wasn't good.
Anyway, so yeah.
So the jokes were good then, is what I gather.
The jokes were excellent. No, we'll get to it. But so Deadpool's been around in one movie, but it was a very, very different interpretation of it.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's been so much backlash. You know how it's been.
That iteration of Deadpool with his mouth sewn shut,
Yeah.
that isn't from any comic book.
Not that I know of.
Wait,
Not
you're
that-
talking
yeah.
about the Wolverine version.
The Wolverine
So
one,
what
where
happens is
his mouth
basically-
was sewn shut.
Yeah.
Because he's a talkative
So I
guy.
figured
Yeah.
it was from some version of Deadpool that I didn't know about, but apparently
Oh.
that's just a thing they decided to
Do
do
you
for
think
the movie.
do you think they did that so that he wouldn't be able to swear?
No.
so that they could keep it.
I just think
they
they-
could keep it PG.
I think they thought they were going in like a
scary
yeah.
villain way. That's it, man. They wanted to make
Yeah.
him a creepy villain. He talks too much, so they sew his mouth shut and becomes like a creepy, almost Freddy or Jason kind of aspect of his character. He becomes like kind of a Baraka, basically, is what he looks
Yeah, I
like from
guess
Mortal Kombat. So yeah, and everyone hated that. I mean, plus Ryan Reynolds has had some shit luck when it comes to superhero films with Green Lantern, which is why I wore a Green Lantern T-shirt to the premiere. I thought that's a kind of joke.
What was
that
the
you would
deal? What was the
appreciate.
deal with the red shirt thing? Wear red to this premiere? Because the ticket said like wear red.
So the payoff was pretty okay. It was basically like you have to go collect your ticket, and then he gives you a card, the ticket guy, and on your card will be a response to whether you've worn red or not. So basically, everyone else got who was like, Dinkar, you were wearing red?
No.
No, you're not. Okay, so whoever else was, and there were a lot of people, they just got a card saying, hey man, you were wearing red, that's awesome, thanks. And then I got a card and I was like, oh, I was expecting the same thing. But they were like, you had like one job, man, you're supposed to wear red, but you didn't. So I was just like, it's supposed to be like a meta joke outside the film. Which is what the whole campaign while promoting the Star Movie Secret Screening was. It was cool, it was alright, it's not bad. An effort was made, I always appreciate that.
My favorite thing about the marketing for this movie, obviously trailers and all that were great and hilarious.
Yeah, we
and
should
whatnot.
definitely talk about that.
My favorite thing about it, I imagine it happened elsewhere around the world, was that like there are umpteen number of Deadpool spray paintings all across Bombay.
Is that like legit though? You think that was commissioned stuff?
Yeah, clearly.
I would,
Yeah,
because
I would
really
imagine,
well
because I mean,
done.
like it's well done. It would take a lot of time to do that. Like
Yeah.
somebody who knew what they were doing did those things,
Right.
And they look the perfect amount of like accurate to Deadpool and
What he
the
looks like.
comic, but then also not like
you-
overblown. That like you can tell a corporate sponsor like
Yeah,
invested
very
millions
true.
into like getting the perfect thing
looks
down. You know?
UGC, yeah.
It looks like it's done by a street guy.
It
Yeah.
looks
you know?
UGC.
It does
yes.
look UGC, right? Yeah. So definitely marketing
Like
has
that
been
guerrilla
amazing.
marketing, I was like, hey, that's
These
not
guys have
bad.
done some really,
Yeah,
really
it's
good
nice that
stuff.
they're doing like such localized marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
And which is funny though. Actually, if you're saying localized stuff, then I thought that Deadpool would definitely have something to say about India,
India
and
specifically?
India's censorship, like, because that would have been like the ultimate middle finger
Sure.
to the censor board,
Yeah.
And I feel like, I mean, especially you have a big population here.
Right,
Again,
but
not as
India,
much.
That's
India
probably
won't have
not
the
a
box
fight.
office
Fair
numbers.
enough, fair
India
enough.
won't have the box office numbers.
Having said that,
in the grand scheme of things.
it's broken some records,
Oh,
man.
I'm sure it's broken records.
It was
but
a 60,
India,
yeah,
India probably didn't contribute much to that.
Fair enough.
So.
60 million budget and
Yeah.
made 150 million, so it's not bad. So let's get to the movie, the actual movie. No spoilers, we're going to start with it. So whatever we've seen in the trailers and stuff like that is pretty much a lot of the movie, because they had such a, that's the first thing actually that struck me, is that it's a pretty low budget film, because there are not many, there are literally 2 major set pieces in the entire film, and
wow.
everything else is just like
Banter.
Banter. So you can like boil it down to like how a sitcom operates. You like in Friends, you have Central Perk, you have
Yeah,
Ross's
yeah.
apartment, Rachel's apartment.
It actually does work like
Yeah,
that.
it is exactly like that. So most of the scenes
Sure.
happen. There are 2 major set pieces. One which everyone's seen in the trailer, which is the one on the bridge,
bridge.
on the motorway.
With Colossus and
Yeah,
everybody.
and,
the whole gang. Yeah.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and it's a great set piece which keeps coming back in and out because it's kind of a non-linear kind of thing.
Okay.
And but the cool thing is that and then there's other places, the bar, which is where TJ
With
Miller's
TJ Miller, yeah.
his character is kind of like, what's his name? I can't remember.
Weasel.
Right? And the other one is her house. The what's her name, man?
Morena Baccarin?
No, not Morena Baccarin. Well, that's their
Who
apartment, which is
else
there.
is- oh, the old lady, the
what's her-
blind-
blind Al?
Blind Al?
Blind Al.
Blind Al.
Yeah. So and it's her apartment, and literally, and the warehouse in which he becomes Deadpool. So that's literally the entire scope
Sure.
of
Yeah.
location.
Which I like. I like
A bunch
the,
of
I like the sound
interior
of that. I like the
locations.
sound of that.
Yeah, and it
I
was
like
so
keeping
contained.
it small and just having the story within that. I've
Exactly,
always loved
and they
those
pulled
kind
it
of
off,
movies.
man. I thought they did a great job with it.
So wait, let me ask really quick. So
Yeah.
you say that a lot of these things were shown in the trailer, and now I don't really have the biggest problem with that, because of late, maybe I've just gotten lucky in that a lot of the newer movies I've been seeing of late, have done this. I was particularly so relieved when I was watching episode 7 that a lot of those, like I think 95% of what you saw in the trailers was taken care of in the first 15 minutes, which left me with, and same with Avengers 2. with Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
The first 15-20 minutes, all your trailer footage is taken care of. I was like, great. Now I have an hour and 45 minutes left of stuff that I've never seen before. So was that the case with this one, or like
it was exactly the case
pretty
with
much
this one,
that.
Yeah, because
I
you
mean,
don't see anything from
the last
Yeah.
set piece.
so? This whole Colossus fight on the bridge all happens relatively
so
early.
essentially, most of the trailer is the bridge fight and a couple of scenes from the bar, which are all in the first half of the movie.
Good, that's great.
So
But there's a lot of like in between places. Like so, some of the stuff which I really loved was obviously the whole aspect that everybody loves about Deadpool, which is why he's become such a famous character, is because he's so meta and he's the only character who knows he's in a comic book.
Breaks that
and
fourth wall,
he's, he's breaking the fourth wall, and they've done like really really good stuff
Sure.
within that. And it's such a non-linear kind of narrative that keeps going back and forth, and it just helps that he's a character who knows that he's in a story that he's only telling. So he keeps referencing different points that he's in, like timeline wise.
Right.
So it's really sharp there. So for me, I think that's the strongest part of this film. Obviously, everybody wanted to watch the comedy and the action. Those are like 100%. They're excellent. The things that didn't work for me, just generally, was the story was, and this is the thing about Deadpool. The story is like almost non-essential. It's like it doesn't matter where he's going or who he's gonna kill or destroy, whatever it is.
Sure.
But the thing that everybody really wants to watch is that he's a badass and he's hilarious at it. And yeah, Ryan Reynolds was born to play this role, man.
Yeah,
Like
clearly.
he killed it. He
Cool.
nails it. Yeah,
he's
he's great.
perfect.
So also, which universe is he in? Is he
He's in Marvel.
No, I know that. I mean,
Yeah.
is he in the
Fox universe.
in the Fox universe,
So
so
he's-
he is a part
in
of
Hugh Jackman.
X-Men First Class onwards. I'm thinking.
yeah.
First Class?
The X-Men universe that exists now.
Sure.
Post
yeah,
First Class.
that's an episode for another day.
Yeah.
Because
Because
post
that's
Days of
pretty
Future
messy.
Past, like there's a
Yeah,
ripple
sorry,
effect.
post Days of Future Past actually.
Yeah.
So he's in that timeline.
Well,
And
yes, he
the
is.
X-Men
I
movies
see what you
before
mean.
that
right, yeah,
are-
the multiple timelines.
Exactly,
Right,
yeah. Because
Okay,
there's this
okay.
great interview Bryan Singer just did an interview about how, like, basically what is going to happen. Is it what we see the last scene of Days of Future Past? Is everything going to be, status quo by the end? And he's like, yeah, but at the same time, that's an alternate version of where Wolverine has kind of woken up from his consciousness that Shadowcat puts in him. And so that's just another thing.
Oh,
it
man.
could not have
This
to lead
is-
that way. So
Ugh.
it's still pretty
That is
interesting that
complicated.
way. Yeah.
I never even thought about this, and we've just like sort of cracked open the lid on this. I'm
Yeah.
already like, oh crap.
So I'll tell you what,
no.
we're going to talk about when we do Apocalypse, I'm sure.
I guess, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and that's
When
gonna
is-
be-
when is Apocalypse?
I think it's August, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Sometimes
So,
it's
so he's in the same world as Apocalypse, whatnot. Like
Yeah,
Deadpool and
so
Apocalypse are
in a
happening
s-
simultaneously,
yes.
like one
Well,
after
we
the
don't
other.
know how
But also in a
Apocalypse
lot
ends.
of ways, he's in our world.
Yeah, that's
Because
very
he's
right.
also
He's in-
commenting
he's in
on
2016,
like the mess
right?
between franchises and stuff.
He's
Yeah.
talking. He talks about that. Like, this is one really great line which he says in the film. He's like, he goes to the Xavier's mansion.
Spoilers.
No, it's not. It's not a spoiler. It's just
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah,
in the
go.
Xavier's mansion, and she opens the door, and he's asking her for help to come.
Xavier's mentioned.
Yeah,
she who?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Oh, okay.
So they're the two mutants in the film, right? And they just freely use the word mutant.
Wait,
just to-
and Colossus.
Colossus.
And Colossus,
And
yes.
he's not
Oh,
a
you mean
mutant,
those
right?
two?
Yeah, Deadpool's not a mutant, right?
Yeah, Deadpool's
He's a
technically
Weapon
not
X
mutant.
kind
Yeah, sure,
of
you're right,
product.
You're right, yeah.
Though they have kind of changed that little storyline.
Yeah,
They
so
unlocked
that-
the mutation in his DNA.
Yeah.
So apparently
That's
all
cool.
everybody
Earlier he was
has,
part of the Weapon X program.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's pretty interesting.
He was
that
one of
one.
the guys they messed up on the way to making Wolverine.
Wolverine. Is that true though?
Yeah.
Or is it
That would
before
make sense.
pre-Wolverine? This is
Pre-Wolverine. So apparently,
this is
like,
post-Wolverine,
Wolverine
sorry.
is 10, like X is 10. This guy is supposed to be 9. Like literally, he's supposed to be 9.
No, but that's in the comic books.
In the
because,
comic books,
because
yes.
right now, if we're following the same timeline, and if you see Negasonic Teenage Warhead has the first class uniform on also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
So
seems
now-
like I think this is post Wolverine though. Definitely.
Now, which Wolverine movie are we talking about?
This is really hard to explain.
This is just so
so I'll
damn
tell you what.
confusing.
So it's so with where we leave Wolverine at the end of Days of Future Past is that he gets thrown out from the stadium by Magneto into the water,
Yes.
picked up by young William Stryker.
Right.
Right. So that's when he becomes Wolverine. I think this has to be after that because that was in a much earlier time. That is set. Days of Future Past is set
It's
in the
set in the
70s.
70s, yeah.
Exactly.
This
so
is
happens-
2016.
This is 2016. Like this has happened now.
And Deadpool became Deadpool in 2016.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. So it is definitely post Weapon X, and I think basically it's the shards of that program.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
And the way they explain it, sorry, just last thing. The
sure.
way they explain it is that he's so the original premise of the film is that he's suffering from, and this
Cancer
is in the trailer.
and all
He's got
that,
cancer, and so he gets a call from this agency. Says we can fix you. And how we're going to do that is we're going to put you in a facility and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then he realizes the facility is like it's a hoax. It's basically they're training they're taking mercenaries like himself and converting them into super soldiers in that sense. So that, but obviously the way they do it is not, it's not government authorized. It's not like legal. It's
not up to code.
It's not ethical. It's not anything. But they're doing this to make them weapons of mass destruction in a sense. And so he becomes a victim of that. But very V for Vendetta, the whole thing goes awry, and he escapes and he becomes this guy. So that's basically the premise of the film. So it's happening right now in our timeline and stuff like that. Because the school for the gifted youngsters, Xavier School, is very much existent. It's there. The Blackbird is there. Everything is there. And so, anyways, coming back to that one joke is that they open the door. He rings the doorbell literally of the mansion, and he's like, "Listen, I need your help to come help me defeat this villain who's basically made me this way." That's the whole plot.
Okay.
And she's just like, "Okay, cool, I'll just get Colossus." He's like, "Wow." It's like, isn't it funny how you guys are the only two mutants I keep running into? It's almost like Fox didn't have enough budget to get more more mutants in it.
Nice.
So it's a line like that kind of makes you realize that, oh god, they know what he knows very well.
He knows what you're thinking.
It's like putting a spectator into a film and giving him powers. Sure. That's pretty much what Deadpool is about.
I'm gonna try to put this in order of films that we have, so we can just follow a timeline.
This is great. Yeah,
Jishnu is literally holding his head right now.
This is
Are you going
hurting
in
my brain.
Chronological order in the universe?
Chronological order
Fictional.
in terms of
fictional universe.
Yeah, the fictional
not
universe.
How it's come out.
Right.
Yeah, not how it's come out.
So first
Where
the
they
Big
belong.
Bang happened.
And then the theory.
Yeah.
So
And
we
then-
begin with Days of Future Past, when they went back to the past in the 70s. Right? It starts there because that's when...
Actually, no. You know what?
Yeah.
It should start exactly how it's been made, because...
No. Into order of events. I'm just talking order of
If
events.
order of events, then it's First Class. Right? First Class is the first one that has come out. In that sense, actually,
Yes, that's right.
Apocalypse
Yeah.
is first because Apocalypse is the first mutant, and then we cut to
No,
First Class.
But the
Apocalypse
events of
movie-
Apocalypse will be
the Apocalypse
now.
movie is now. Apocalypse is
No,
movie
but
after Deadpool.
there's a pre-movie to it, right?
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
I'm
no,
not
we're talking
about
only
that.
in terms
I'm
of the
talking
X-Men.
about the movies and how the timeline goes for them. So yes, okay, First Class is first.
Yes.
Followed by Future Past.
Yes.
Right, because First Class was 60s, Future Past is 70s.
Yeah.
Um,
Then Apocalypse.
No, because Apocalypse would be now. The events of the Apocalypse movie is in 2016, right?
No, it's not. It's directly after Days of Future Past.
Is it?
Is it
Yes,
in
of
the 80s?
course
Okay,
it
yes,
is.
it is in the
Oh,
80s. That's
it
right,
is.
because he's still young. He's got
He's
hair.
still young.
He hasn't
He's
bald
still
head.
young. It's Fassbender and
Right. Okay,
Dinkar.
you're
Yes,
right.
yes,
You're
of
right.
course,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's First Class, Future Past, Apocalypse.
Right?
Yes.
And then
X-Men? So if you want to put it that way, then Origins is
X-Men
first.
Origins. Yeah.
No, that's actually first. We're not talking about the flashback. We only talk about Origins.
Yes.
So Origins.
Yeah.
Then X-Men.
X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men...
No.
X-Men
Then
1,
Japan.
Wolverine. The Wolverine.
Yeah. Then X-Men
X-Men 2,
X-Men
3.
Last Stand.
Yep.
Yeah. Then technically Days of Future Past again.
Yeah, fine.
So it's
And then-
actually
and then
from
Deadpool?
Days of Future Past onwards, we have two branches,
Well,
into one of which goes the original trilogy. No,
so you have to kind of look at it in two timelines.
Yeah.
But now but you have to look at it in terms of how Terminators look at the timeline.
How
which is
about
that
let's not look at it in two
ripple-
timelines. Let's just keep it simple.
So then it's ripple effect, right?
Yeah,
so that
let's
means
just
by
keep
the
it
time
simple.
Days of Future Past happens in the future, that's only when the events of the previous timeline are corrected.
Right.
So technically, if that's why you can't look at it as two timelines, because it doesn't make it will not loop properly.
Let's not and say we
Yeah.
did.
So
Cool.
then
So we're good.
after
We've got
X-Men:
it.
The Last Stand
Yeah.
is Days of Future Past again.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's going to be Deadpool.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
We're good. Okay,
And
so
then so and so
it's the
X-Force,
Fassbender, it's the Fassbender and what's his name? McAvoy trilogy,
However,
followed by
here's the next wrench to throw
Oh,
into the
God.
works.
Just
Is that
stop it.
now McAvoy and Fassbender are going to be Patrick Stewart's they're going to be Xavier
Yeah.
and Magneto so they're going to age them also. Like,
Yeah.
and this is a thing we talked about in the previous episode, is that casting has become such a big deal now because we are seeing entire lifespans of people in movies, right? Like, we're going to see Han Solo's entire lifespan. We've seen it. We're going to see
Peggy Carter.
We're going to see Peggy Carter.
But the good thing is she might actually age in real life. So that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome, right?
That'd be great.
But and the mistake they made in that sense, not really a mistake because it meant getting Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart involved, is that they had already cast really much older people as the principal characters, and now that they want to show a much larger span of time,
I'm sure they'll have a Force ghost of Ian McKellen come in at some point and, like, you know, be a Yoda to his own self. Kind of like they already did in Future Past. They might do that again.
That's a pivotal scene between Patrick Stewart and James. That was great, man.
They might do that again. I can see that happening.
And
think about it, back in the days of the first X-Men, who would have thought we'd be at this point?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's how they're trying to rework their...
Yeah.
I mean, is Marvel also trying to do that right now with their franchise? Is that they're trying to... I mean, they're casting younger and younger people. When they did Robert Downey Jr., it was already 40, right?
Yeah.
Now they're casting, like, much younger people.
Yeah.
Like, we have a Benedict who's like still in his 30s. Yeah, it's
I
because
think,
they
I
want...
think definitely. I mean,
now they know this is the potential of it.
that's why Spidey is, you know,
15,
high school.
like,
Because they're like, boom,
Yeah,
get
they
him
can
while they're
milk
young.
that
and, like,
out for...
And they know Spider-Man is beloved by everybody, so, like, he's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, that's
If there's
true.
anybody in the Marvel Universe that they will hold on to with their... For dear life, it's going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
and he's like almost evergreen, you know.
Exactly. So
I mean, we've already seen 2 reboots and now the third one is coming
Right,
out. So,
yeah.
So that's interesting. So, no, coming back to Deadpool, man. So I think Deadpool is like the first in line of like many characters like this, which is more of this generation's kind. I think that's the whole thing, right? Like with Marvel trying to do Doctor Strange and do like other characters, they're still like more like fresh because I think everyone has seen X-Men. We've seen enough X-Men. We've seen enough. And now those guys have become the butt of jokes that are being featured in like movies like Deadpool.
Yeah.
And I just find that hilarious, man, that, you know, we've almost gone an entire generation of people, like our generation, who saw X-Men, and that was the first, I think, superhero film that came out, which was 2000s, if you're not counting Blade, actually, in that sense.
The first superhero film ever?
No, I mean, like, from this...
in the
Fox series.
From
like,
the
you know,
Fox stable,
from one of the
I suppose.
bigger, you know, like, studio films, franchise films.
We've been having like Supermans and Batmans for ages.
Well... Yeah, that's true. But I'm
Supermans
talking about
and
like, you know,
Batmans.
like almost like ensemble. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I always count X-Men, the 2000 film.
I'm with you there. I don't know how to define it exactly, but
I see
it
what you
was.
mean. I
It
get
felt
your
like the
point,
start
yeah.
of something.
Also, because like
So
Tim
did
Burton's film was like very almost Nolan-esque in the sense that it was very encapsulated in its own universe.
Well, what about that first Fantastic Four? When was that? With Jessica Alba.
Oh, that was 2002. Tim Story's film.
Was that
yeah.
before X-Men?
No,
No,
it
X-Men
was
was
definitely
before that.
after X-Men. Yeah, because I remember X-Men being like. I saw it and I was like, "Whoa, that was so cool to watch the X-Men," you know.
It was, yeah.
And it came fresh out of the 90s, you know,
Yeah.
animated series and stuff like that. So yeah, it did really well.
Is
there.
it in 4x3?
No, it's not that old. I don't think we've had a 4x3 film in a very long time, man.
Yeah. Not since the 50s, I think.
I think
love to see
cartoons
one.
just about escaped 4x3 in the 80s, man. So it's like, yeah, definitely.
I just like 4x3.
Yeah. The Artist, man. The movie was
Yeah.
made in 4x3. Yeah, it was great.
And you see that again.
Cool. So I think we should take a break, and then we're going to talk about censorship in the movie. We're going to give our final opinion on Deadpool, I suppose, and then talk about Pahlaj Nihalani. Is that his full
Nihalani,
name?
yes.
God damn that man. Okay, we're going to talk about him in a bit.
You can listen to Cyrus Says from our apps on iOS, Android, or our website, cyrussays.in. You can also listen to services like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcasting softwares. It's cyrussays.in.
Hello.
Hi. That was a great ad. Loved it. I love all these ads. They're awesome. Some of the podcasts are excellent as well. I was talking about the ads.
The ads are great. Some of the podcasts, not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we're back on ours. Deadpool.
Yep.
Hey, so the name Deadpool also came out pretty well in this movie.
Yeah.
So I always believed it was because the name comes from pooling all the powers that he has. And earlier iterations of Deadpool had him also have the power of teleportation. So I think it's like basically they give him all these random powers together, and then he becomes like this pool of, you know, powers. And in this movie they changed the origin of the name. Or is that how it happened originally? I'm not sure about that.
I am not sure either, because I don't think this is how it came about. I think
But it's a great way they did it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's not a spoiler, is it? I mean, it's not really.
Okay, then.
okay,
If
so
you're
it's not
unsure,
really
then don't do it.
No, it's because
Don't
it's
do
there
it.
in the beginning of the film.
Don't do it. Don't.
And
do
you
it.
see it.
Nope.
I don't know.
Nope.
Okay, fine, fair enough. All right,
Cancel.
so it's not a spoiler. I mean, we'll leave some things.
Yes.
But it's quite nice how they brought it out.
Cool.
And it's like literally one shot.
So
and
the plot itself
Yeah.
is good, not great.
it's not great by any means. I don't think it's good.
average at best, in fact, actually.
So even the way they marketed it was like, it's a Valentine's Day film. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah,
boy
yeah.
meets girl.
Yeah.
And
boy
that
falls
is
love
in
with
fact
girl.
what he says at the top, where
Yeah,
he's
he
like,
does.
this isn't a superhero story, this is a love story. Which it isn't. It's not much of a story at all. It's like a pretty... It's a...
Yeah, if you have to put it this way,
It's an origin story that covers like all the basic beats. Like, this is the guy, this is what happened to him, now he's a superhero.
Yeah.
Except he's not really...
and he's basically
like an anti-hero.
So
but
basically,
yeah.
what the only thing is, the plot is he's taking revenge on the guy who made him this way. That's
Sure.
it.
Yes. Alright.
That's the whole
Which
story.
is the exact same story as Wolverine in part 2.
One of them, but like they're different
Which is
versions
fine. I
of
mean,
it.
I'm not saying that's a problem. That happens a lot.
Did you
Everybody-
like the Wolverine? Because I really did.
Yeah, yeah.
I
the
really liked it.
second, the Japan one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
one
liked
that
it. I liked it.
What was the director's name? The guy who made 310 to Yuma. Can't remember. James Mangold.
Right.
And he's the guy who's doing the last one, the last Wolverine movie.
Oh, right. When is
Yeah.
that out?
I think 2017, if I'm
Alright,
not mistaken.
cool.
And it's good because last thing we saw was Hugh Jackman was taking literally on Twitter. He was just asking people for what do you want to see in the movies in the last movie that I will do, and obviously everyone's saying is like put on the damn yellow suit. Like no one's seen that yet.
Yeah.
But the amount of fun that is made of Hugh Jackman and the Wolverine in this film is
movie. Awesome.
ridiculous.
Great.
Like it is that he literally just takes his case the whole way through, and almost like a way just to get back at X-Men Origins. It's just so funny.
So,
yeah.
where does it stand for you guys in the
X-Men?
pantheon of X-Men movies?
It's quite up there, actually. It's
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
quite up there. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's really fun. It is very different from everything that's been done in the X-Men universe so far, for sure.
definitely. It doesn't take
And,
itself seriously. That's the first thing. And
yeah.
X-Men has always been serious,
Okay.
Which you
Yeah.
don't see that much. I mean, Guardians did it, I suppose.
I was just going to say, I was going to say, if I
There
can
is
see
that whole
anybody
thing-
doing that,
yeah.
I can see when, like, after Infinity War 1 happens, I can see if the next time you see, like, Rocket, I think he would probably be, like, making a lot more jokes about the rest of the team,
yeah.
being like, who's this random,
Yeah.
good-looking blonde-haired guy with a
Definitely.
shield? Why is he so...
Definitely.
What's so
Yeah.
great about
So
you?
Deadpool is essentially that, but without giving the slightest about continuity and stuff
Right,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
or
it's like-
or maintaining like your suspension of disbelief or anything. It's just like, well, remember that movie?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's the guy in the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny. It's like
So-
you could see Deadpool watching Avengers or something
Right.
like that. It's like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just he's basically like a director's commentary, like any one of our social
Nice.
commentary on like.
I'd love to see a director's commentary of Deadpool.
I'm
That'd be
very
great.
sure they will make him do it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it would be very funny for him.
Yeah.
And they've done everything that we really like about it. It's not a letdown by any means in that
Yeah.
sense. Story-wise,
so,
was
Dev,
a
so
week.
clearly I'm getting the impression that it was a nice refresher for you guys.
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
refreshing to see this take on superhero movies.
I would say I would go one step ahead of that and say it's
Yeah.
a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Okay.
Yeah,
even though you say the plot and all that is not anything
Yeah, but
special.
I don't think this movie is really about the plot. It's not really
That's true.
important.
It's not an
for-
artistically... It doesn't have much artistic integrity to it, but it's executed well.
I don't think there was much artistic intent to it. In
Yeah,
fact,
that's
it was
true.
never made with the intention
Okay.
of like this is to tell Deadpool's story to the world.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
It was more like let's
Okay.
make a kick-ass movie, and they did.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and speaking, it's a lot like Kick-Ass also. I mean, in that sense that
Yes.
it's very meta in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
about superheroes, and he keeps saying, "I'm not a superhero. I'm not a superhero. Don't make me one." And Colossus' whole plot in his whole arc in this film is, man, you're a good guy. Actually, I know you're a good guy. You should try and become a superhero. Just try and do it. And he's just like, no, man, I'm not. So it was cool, man. It was pretty
Okay.
good. The characters wise, I mean, they're very like 6 characters in the whole movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Morena Baccarin is excellent. She's really good. In fact, that love story is very sweet. It's really cool. It's very refreshing. Again, very different in that they're both like these really vindictive. They're like assholes. Both of them, and that's why they get along and stuff is great. Villain wise, Ajax. Or Francis, he's great, man. Like he's like
good.
He's like your typical British villain, which is again something they reference
That
in
they
the
call
film.
out like right at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
So rate it. Where would it stand? What's your favorite
I know.
one? What's your favorite one so far?
favorite X-Men? Probably
Yeah.
X-Men 2.
X-Men?
Yeah.
X-Men 2, yes.
X-Men, I'd say
First Class.
First Class, yeah.
First Class is so good.
So good. So I'd say X-Men 2 because it's like, that's when we were growing up and,
Sure.
we love
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
So X-Men 2, First Class because of that bullet or that coin through
Yeah, man. Just,
his head.
it's just
That one
insane.
scene just
It's
makes everything,
insane.
right?
Yeah.
That was an excellent film.
And Kevin Bacon.
Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon, dude. How can you
Best.
not? Exactly, right? So that was a great film. And then after that, what? Then X-Men, probably.
X-Men 1.
I don't know, for me, probably.
I
X-Men?
wonder if it's been a while since I've seen the original trilogy. I wonder how well X-Men
Last time?
Yeah.
X-Men 1 is pretty decent.
X-Men
man.
1 holds up. I saw it not too long ago, by which I mean a few years ago, but still.
Yeah, it holds up.
I still remember like really enjoying it
Yeah.
and not having any qualms with
Yeah,
it really.
and again, it's like the first time, like you see, when I saw Cyclops, I was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this is amazing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
That feeling alone just makes it so
Yeah.
much, like higher
Like that.
in
Do
this.
you remember the final scene where they're in the Statue of
Statue of
Liberty?
Liberty, of
Yeah.
course.
And like he like magnetizes them against the thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like he takes off Cyclops
Yeah.
thing, and like his eyes are shut. And
yes, faces him against Jean Grey.
yeah, like
oh,
just
dude,
that,
that's
it was such a
excellent.
great, such
that
a
was
great scene.
excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
And how Wolverine has to escape from that, he pierces
Yeah.
his own heart. Like,
Right.
oh my god, how badass was that?
yeah.
So it was excellent. That was amazing.
So where does Deadpool stand with this? So you say one, it's definitely not first, it's not second, is it third?
See, it's hard to kind of put them in the. So that's the thing, right? The mutant saga has always been about everybody hates us and we're just trying to get along with the world. But I don't know, man.
It's a little tough to rate these movies.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. Like how I was asking right now how the X-Men trilogy, the original trilogy holds up, is because when I think about it now, it feels very off that time. Like even when we discuss it
Yeah,
right
that's
now,
true. Yeah.
we're thinking of like our memories of watching it.
Right.
So the original trilogy feels very off that time. I'd say Future Past, First Class and Deadpool feel like movies of now.
Which they are.
Which they are.
Again.
I mean, they literally are
I mean,
movies
like,
of now, but they
filmmaking
feel like...
has definitely changed. The superhero
Yeah.
genre
Yeah.
has
The way they approach it,
completely
yeah.
morphed.
So yeah, the original trilogy seems, and even the Wolverine, though it was a great movie, feels like it's part of that like first wave of
Yeah.
superhero
Yeah.
movies.
It was on
Which
the
I
like,
loved.
it was on
Yeah.
that
Which is
tipping
great.
point,
Yeah.
which is why Origins I think was just weird. It was too much on the line that it couldn't commit to either side. You
And
know
the
what I
other
mean? Like,
problem
it was
with
like-
Origins was that
Yeah.
it leaked before. There was a lot of
Yeah.
bad luck surrounding that film, and also it was a bad film.
It was not a
It's
good
not. It
movie.
was not good. But
But again, part of that like classic wave. I'd say.
Yeah, classic.
If we're gonna give terms to this stuff, so these three movies are very similar in the sense that they're all very clever. They know the audience they're talking to. They know they're building off of a whole like slew of superhero movies that have come out so far. So I'd say if we consider them,
Yeah.
it's the third of those three. But
I don't know. I've never been.
Alright.
I'm still not a fan of Days of Future Past. I've
No?
mentioned this before.
Yeah.
I
Have,
so
have you
I've-
seen it?
I've-
Have you seen it since?
No, I haven't. So
Yeah,
that's
give
the
it
thing.
another one,
I've
yeah.
had some issues with that film.
Right, give it
Just
another one.
changing characters, not including Forge. It just or Bishop.
Yeah.
Like it makes so much sense. Days of Future Past was all about. Oh, we can go on about this, but it was about something else. Like it was about Bishop going into the past and helping these guys out, face Apocalypse. Actually, in fact, and but man, it just. And Shadowcat, why give her that?
Are you excited for Apocalypse? Though?
Not yet, though,
No?
man. Not yet. I mean, I'm really excited to see like some of the.
We talked about this.
Yeah, we spoke about this, but
Jubilee
I love
and
Jubilee,
the
right? To see Jubilee like warms my heart, literally, because she's just exactly like she was in the animated
And
series
Jubilee,
and in the comics.
to see Jubilee just makes me crack up.
It would be excellent, right?
What the
I want
hell
to see
is a
that.
Jubilee?
I want to see. I really want to see big. Like Apocalypse, like the big side, like how he is in the comics.
Yeah.
I really want to see bald James McAvoy. So things like that, elements that make me really excited for it. Obviously,
Sure.
McAvoy and Fassbender are the reason why I'm
Yeah.
still watching it.
Absolutely.
Jennifer Lawrence is completely opposite. Why I don't want to watch these
Yeah.
films.
That I know as well.
Yeah, it's just she's so good in everything else. Why this, man? Why this? Why did you do this? Why did you David O. Russell my film? Jesus. Anyway, so excited for it in some senses, but not.
Okay, let's
Let's
turn the page. Let's move on to
Here's why we didn't like Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it's not Deadpool's fault.
Yeah.
Yes. So there was a big gaping issue that we should talk about, which is that in this movie, which we watched, there's so many words that have been muted and words that have been and scenes that have been they do that. So let's talk about that little zoom in that they do whenever there's like a sex scene or there's any form of
nudity.
erotica.
They'll do a digital
going on.
zoom into another part of the
Just-
frame.
Yeah, they just zoom in
Oh, God.
and they expect like, this is the shot that the director wanted, and then it comes out. It happened the first time I saw it was in Gone Girl, and I was just like, wait,
Really?
what is? And I had never seen it before, and I was just like, wow, what's happening here? And then I realized,
suddenly, like,
oh my gosh,
there's a lot of green.
yeah,
It looks like
you can see
slightly
the
fuzzy.
green,
Yeah.
and I was just like, wow, why would you do that? Like first of all, just scan the scene, man. And then I heard about it in Spectre, which is that 50% of all the kissing scenes. Not even there's no, and you know James Bond, it just shies. It's one step away from actual like nudity and stuff. But
they'll show underwear.
They'll show underwear.
But nobody goes
and
full
sensuality
on nude.
and stuff. But they won't actually. And so all the kissing scenes which happen between Lea Seydoux and what's her name, Monica Bellucci, have all been like cut out of the film. And I was like, really, in Bond, you want to do that? Anyway,
didn't you say that so I saw the thing again.
You saw Spectre?
Yeah, I saw Spectre.
In the cinema?
I did not see it in the cinema for this reason.
Yeah.
And when I saw it at home, I enjoyed the film. I saw it, and none of this, went through my head until after the fact. You mentioned, I think you or somebody else told me that one pivotal scene where Daniel Craig and Christoph Waltz are having like this epic bad guy good guy monologue thing during an interrogation scene. Apparently, like half the lines were cut out, and I was like, "Which scene are you talking about?" Because there was nothing in it that seemed like too perverse or vulgar in it. Yeah. So just the notion that they like willy-nilly just took something out because it kind of like alluded to some dark subject matter or something like that. I was like, well,
what is this scene?
And,
I don't know.
Here's my other question.
Exactly. You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, and I didn't watch it in theaters either. So
exactly. That's the thing.
Here's my other question.
It was as tame as any Bond movies. I don't associate Bond as like an adult.
I don't either.
Thing.
Right? I mean, when I was a kid, maybe like when I was
it's
like 10
adult
and stuff. But it's an adult. Yeah. So here's my other thing: the certification that comes out for every film. Mm-hmm. This is what really gets my like gears. Anyway, it's just I don't understand. They give film certificate. Like they give a certification like A, and then they cut stuff out from it, and that doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. And so I just wanted to know. So when Spectre came out, was it UA? Was it A? Was it PG? I mean, what are the certifications we have? We have
UA, and A,
and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. So it's not. So in the UAE we had 15 plus, we had 18 plus, and we had G. I remember, which was general. Yeah,
I remember that from like Star movies growing up. Like whenever movies would play on Star movies, they would begin with a Star movies title thing, and then there's like a screen saying G, PG, 13, 15 or whatever.
And in the States they have PG-13, they have PG, and then they have I think it's NC-17 or something like that. NC-17 is like the adult, and then there's R, right? So I don't know how
NC-17 is ahead of R. No, is it the other way?
What do you mean by ahead of R?
Like as in like it's even more hardcore.
Yeah. No. I think NC-17 is
one below that.
It's below. Yeah. R is
I don't see a lot of movies rated NC-17. I think.
Yeah, but it's one of those weird lines that get blurred. So I don't know. I just wanted to see if we could equate one to the other over here in India.
So roughly a UA is PG-13.
It's PG-13. That's what I figured.
Yeah, I think for us it's 15 UA.
UA is 15.
15 maybe.
Oh man!
But it's in that range.
Yeah. But so it doesn't make any sense basically. So first off, the certification is completely off because even A films, and they don't have a certificate after that, do they? It's A is like the final thing, and then even then things are censored within that. So that sucks majorly. Yep. And it's all because there's one dude in the CBFC, called Pahlaj Nihalani, whatever. He doesn't deserve to be pronounced correctly, but he's an idiot, and he's been causing trouble from from the time I read about Spectre. That's when I've been hearing this guy's name, and then there's obviously been a lot of controversy with him about Spectre, about another film that just recently is coming out the 26th of Feb called Aligarh, which is what we spoke about. So I just saw the trailer for it. It's awesome. It looks great, and it's a film with Manoj Bajpayee in it, and it's basically about this professor. He's a college professor, and he's homosexual, and he has he sleeps with a dude, but while he's doing that, his apartment gets raided by these guys who try and lynch him, and people come to and the media gets involved and blah blah blah. And it's literally about the proceedings of a court case that kind of get him in,
Sure.
And the trailer is absolutely fine. There's nothing in it. There's no explicit kind of. In fact, it's some beautifully solemn moments from Manoj Bajpayee doing some of his best work. It really looks legit.
Cool.
I saw it just before coming here, and it looks awesome and really well shot. And there's no explicit thing at all in it. And that trailer got an A certification. The trailer got an A certification, and so what that meant was that in the last month, in the lead up to his film, which is going to come with this guy, Hansal Mehta, I think that's the name of the director, he's like, dude, there's nothing wrong with the trailer. It's only the content, with the topic of it is homosexuality.
Subject matter,
and so you've cut it out 1 month before my movie's going to come out, which means it's not going to play with any other movies that are coming out in the theater. The trailer's not going to play.
It'll only play with adult movies,
which are censored. it's only going to play on television after like 12 o'clock, I suppose, which doesn't make a difference because kids are watching anytime. It doesn't none of it really makes any like actual sense.
Yeah.
And he, the guy, what's the name? Pahlaj, the guy, the minister, is what is he? The chief? What is he called?
He's
head honcho.
the head of the Censor Board.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not a minister.
The fat guy.
That guy. So basically, he's like, no, you're basically just trying to give us like, you're trying to get some publicity
Make
going
us
for a film.
immoral.
Yeah, I know.
You're
And it's
preaching
like
these
it's not-
immoral
and
acts
his
and
exact
just
words are, I don't
crap.
think kids or teenagers need to be watching this kind of film. Because homosexuality is not something to be discussed for kids.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that even mean? It's like, how do you even that's when you find out. It's so weird.
That's when you find out.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know, man.
It's just,
And they have-
it's
This
just
guy's an
incredibly
asshole,
depressing.
and he's just
to
like,
think about.
yeah, he's just terrible. And here's the flip side of it: is that the other films that we talk about, Masti Zadeh,
Yeah, right.
by the way, this name has made an appearance on our show like 4 times
Yeah.
already.
Really?
That's how bad it is. Okay,
Yeah.
so Masti Zadeh, Kya Cool Hai Hum, Part 3.
Part
This
3.
is the third part. Hellboy doesn't have a third part, but this has a third part, and it's like that is out. And there's another film I can't remember. What was it? Grand Masti, which was also pronounced.
Isn't Masti Zadeh the sequel to Grand Masti?
Isn't it?
I think so.
But
Is there going to be a
even if
Grand
it
Masti
wasn't-
Hotel?
Yes.
Yeah, my God.
The
And-
exotic Grand Masti Hotel.
The best exotic.
The best exotic Grand
Masti
Masti
Hotel.
Oh God. Yeah.
Of the 3 that we have.
But can you believe it, man? So those movies, those
This is
trailers
bad.
are so like.
Yeah.
I mean, just first of all, apart from just explicit stuff that they're showing in whatever, just the content is so like wrong.
It's
you know,
just- it's
wrong.
it's vulgar all around. It's just
wrong,
it's raunchy comedy and
it's
just-
misogynistic,
it's misogynistic and
sexist,
it's sexist.
everything.
Yep, it's
It's pretty much everything, and those get to because they're family fun comedy. Really, man? Really, dude? It was
this
just
makes
really
me so
sad.
depressed.
It's it is so
it's
depressing.
2016, man. Like what the hell?
But in India, it's like 48.
To be fair, so our Censor Board has always had this issue where stuff is cut out a bunch. I remember I saw like Titanic in theaters
Okay.
in India once. When
Wow.
I did
and
too, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
But I
know.
mean, I was
there
like
are like
kid, I
large
can't
sections
remember.
which are just like straight out cut out.
Like
And-
where he's drawing her
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
couch.
That's
Yeah.
that's the only graphic part in the movie, isn't it?
No, and then
there's the part where she
the-
flips him off.
the steamy
also
sex
cut out.
scene inside the
Steamy sex scene
automobile.
inside the car.
Yeah.
All
With the
gone
hand.
in the
Yeah?
theatrical version here.
I can't remember
Dude, the
anything.
hand
Completely
on the
cut out.
glass, man.
Yeah, man.
That was like that's such an iconic
That's the
moment.
The move.
Yeah. Hand on glass. It's also kind of creepy if you change the music. You know, just
Oh,
be like,
very much. Yeah.
it's just like it's just really weird. But yeah, man. So here's the thing about Deadpool. Okay, now I'm gonna use some words which will be bleeped. Oh my God, this is hilarious. It cannot
This
get
is
more
so
meta than
meta.
this. We're talking
So
about
meta.
Deadpool. Okay, but yeah. So basically, there's like all the words like there's
No. Okay.
all
no,
the F
here's
words,
your
all the
challenge.
F bombs,
No, stop. Here's the challenge.
Okay.
Rhyme it.
all the schmuck words.
Yeah.
Okay, schmuck, schmucking.
Yeah.
All there. A lot of it is there in the film.
Okay.
A word like, hey man, that was a dick move, bleeped. I was like, what? Mother schmucking, also there. Also bleeped.
Also
bleeped,
Wait. So
yeah.
mother
No, no.
schmuck is bleep, but
I
schmuck is
believe the
fine.
distinction made is if schmuck is used in a sexual context, it's censored.
Oh, like
Oh, yeah?
If it's used as an expletive,
Wait,
it's
you mean
fine.
like, hey, I want to schmuck you is bleeped,
Yes.
but if I just say, hey man,
Schmuck you.
you suck, you suck, schmuck you,
Yeah.
that'll
Yeah.
be bleeped?
No,
No.
that won't be.
Wait,
Oh,
when
the
you,
verb.
I just want to say, when you said suck, did you mean schmuck? No, that was just actually suck. Okay, just checking.
But also, I remember that dick move was also censored in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was one word that was
Which is weird.
in
Yeah.
the middle of the
Ba-
Banner,
in Banner and, the Hulkbuster versus,
Hulkbuster
yeah.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah, he
it's like he
says
says dick move Banner, and like
Do
that
you
was
guys know something really awesome?
What?
When you, well, I don't know if it's awesome, but in
Don't open it
in
with it.
Android,
Don't
if
open it
you
with it.
if you use voice input in Android,
Yeah.
and you say schmuck, it says F star star star.
What?
Android censors you.
Damn.
Wait, it censors you if you say
if you say schmuck.
If
No,
you say
so-
schmuck, so it's
One second,
transcribing
so-
what you write.
Okay, I meant you meant schmuck, not schmuck.
Yeah,
Yes.
schmuck, not schmuck.
Just
yes.
checking. All right.
right.
Sorry.
Fudge is what I
Fudge.
meant. So if you
Or
say fudge
vacuum.
to Android, it
Yeah.
writes it down as F star star
So
star.
if you say vacuum Siri, then it's gonna. It does it happen
First
for
off,
Siri?
it's gonna be pissed because it's Android.
Oh.
It's like, hey man,
What is
F
Android's
star
name?
star star you.
Is Android Cortana?
No, that's Microsoft.
No, that's Windows.
Oh, it's Windows, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Microsoft. yeah.
Microsoft.
Cool. So wait, okay, so the schmuck word was removed. What else was removed?
So that was there.
Balls. which we can say.
But I mean, like, yeah,
Balls?
balls.
Yes.
Was
How is
one.
it used in the sentence?
To refer to the anatomy.
Yeah. So that was removed. And this is so funny. Okay, now here's the other thing. Okay, I watch, like, if you watch HBO, which is a almost pointless channel to watch in India because everything is like, it's got
Absolutely.
Game of Thrones, Entourage, everything. Right? And once, I swear, this is how weird they get, is that once I was watching a scene between Ari Gold and I think Vince or something, and he's asking about somebody else and says, hey man, who reps this guy? And the subtitle was, hey man, who violates this guy?
Whoa.
I swear.
Well, okay, wait, speaking of, was this movie subtitled when you saw it?
No, it wasn't. Relief.
Okay.
One,
'Cause, yeah, that's-
something's got to give.
That's another big reason why I just don't like seeing movies in theaters.
Yeah.
No, yeah, so I'm curious, like, what would they do in the subtitles when they, like, take out a word?
Dude, it's so funny. On television, they just substitute it with other words which are just
In the subtitles, but they leave the audio alone, which is
yeah,
weird.
it's just so funny, man. And I just like, dude, who reps? I will rep you. It's like, what, are you like crazy? Are you listening to words like?
Oh,
like
you have to
different-
say it with a really hardcore Indian accent.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm going to come one day and I'll just rep you, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
But you know, the problem is there are no agents in India, so it's not even a thing that happens here.
Wait,
Anyway.
I read that Ryan Reynolds himself has a nude scene, like, full frontal.
So yeah, here's
Yes.
the other thing.
How
Which
is that?
was not, which you
Okay.
can see.
Yeah, so no, so there are two scenes. Okay, there's one where
Come on.
he's going to the
What is that?
bathroom after sleeping with
Right.
Vanessa, and he's going to the and then they do that little zoom in because nobody
Sure.
wants to see Ryan Reynolds' ass.
Sure.
And so everyone was like, oh, but like, so he goes in the bathroom, so whatever, and then that's zoomed in, but. In the scene where he's like he's escaping from the facility after becoming Deadpool, he's like
He's naked.
completely naked, and you
Yeah.
can see his junk and everything, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
And they show that.
and they showed it, and I was like, oh my god,
Well,
this is
it's
junk.
slightly obscured in the movie itself because
Yeah,
there's
because
like
he's-
wreckage and flames and stuff
Sure.
happening.
It was almost like no, actually, it was one step ahead of like like V for Vendetta when he's escaping from the facility, right, from that Lark Hill thing, right? So it
Whoa,
basically comes
that's
on.
a
He's and
reference.
it's almost exactly the same because he's burnt, and you've seen the scars on his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
It's across his body,
Yeah.
but you can still see the outline of everything. It's almost like the Dr. Manhattan kind of
Right. Yeah.
look, and you can see all his his
Bits and pieces.
crown jewels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
his carrots and
So they
onions.
left that in, but the
Yeah.
butt is too
the
vulgar.
butt is too vulgar, I think, because it
So
was
a
a
mutilated
I think
man's
again
penis
because
is fine.
Mutilated
used
man's
in
penis.
sexual and non-sexual context is the difference there.
Okay,
Jesus
that's actually a good way
Christ.
of distinction, like giving a distinction for us, but still doesn't make any sense.
But I'm assuming that's the reasoning they're following or trying to.
Wow, they can
'Cause
get
it
context.
makes really no
They
sense.
get
otherwise.
context. That's crazy.
Jesus. What about
And they
what
also-
about the female anatomy? What do they do for that?
Not there at all.
No trace of
Not
it.
seen.
As
No
in,
trace.
was it censored out?
Is it there in the movie? I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm guessing
I'm
in
pretty
the
sure
must have
if they
been.
show
Yeah,
his
yeah.
junk, I mean, like,
Yeah. No, it's an
I'm
R-rated
amazed.
film. They
Yeah.
made it as an R-rated film. It's definitely going to be there, but
No
yeah,
trace
man.
of it, though.
No trace of
man.
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm kind of glad I'm waiting a couple more months.
Yeah. No, and you know
I'll
what?
deal.
And
I'll deal.
It's okay.
I'm fine.
Again, it's not like it's not like Star Wars where
Yeah.
we have to watch it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's
And
an R-rated
in
film.
retrospect, the minute I thought about this, I was like, I'm so glad that Star Wars is technically a kid's film.
Like it's a family
Star
film.
Wars will never be censored. In theory,
Which
you
was
never
right.
know. You never know with these idiots.
That's so
But,
true, though. Yeah. If like Luke says, "Hey, man, Yoda repped me," and
it might
I'm sorry, I just don't know what to say
it
that.
might well happen in the Han origin story when like somebody comes
It's
to
possible.
young baby Han is like, hey man, I rep the pirates. You want to be one? It's like, oh, I love repping pirates. Cool, let's do it.
This is a terrible word, man.
This is such a good word.
It's a terrible word. Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much the scenario right now. And right now where we're at is that this like right now the heat of the debate is still between the film Aligarh and this guy Pahlaj. And he's a dolt, man. I don't know what we can do about him.
What we can do about it, great segue, is there's this whole movement called #SaveOurCinema.
Save Us Cinema, right.
which-
So that's... Oh, I thought you were going to hashtag Sanskari James Bond. Which is what...
Which is also-
it was a big hashtag,
yeah.
right? Yeah, man. So, and the good thing is that... sorry, just to bring this up. There are people within the board, the CBFC, who are completely for... obviously, they're part of the film board,
Yeah,
the certification.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they must love film. And there's a guy called Ashok Pandit, I'm not sure, who's always been very anti of this guy. And he's put out on Twitter saying that whatever this board's decisions, final callers, I have been sidelined from them, and here's the real dope on it is because Pahlaj is in cahoots with the Modi government. And basically he just finished making a music video for Narendra Modi.
What?
Yeah, this Pahlaj guy.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
He
basically
made a video.
Basically, Modi's dropping his album this year. We should, dude. If the Pope can,
He just missed the
Apparently Modi
Grammys. The
didn't know
Grammys were
about
today. He just missed the Grammys. He should have put it out a week ago, and he could have debuted it.
he
Could've
funds
beat
the
out
Grammys, man. He funds the Grammys. No, but my point is that so he's obviously in cahoots. That's obvious. It's not even shady, or it's not even a conspiracy. Everyone knows it's out there.
Yeah.
And man, and just with everything that has been happening with this government is. Everything has been censored, things have been banned. It's just one other segment of it, and just happens to be in the things that we love, which is in films and beef. And if they had their way, we wouldn't be able to say beef also, man.
Yeah, man.
But unless it's what we have with the government.
Again, to be fair, our censor board has always been pretty draconian. So
I don't remember it
except
being
in the
this
80s.
bad.
So around the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, Asha Parekh was the chairperson, and that's when this whole wave of completely chopping out scenes and so on started, and that's obviously continued, and now it's spilling over into the larger political conversation, which is probably a topic for a much more
intelligent
podcast than us. But I think the least we can ask for right now is for A-rated films not to be censored.
Yeah, that's the least. And that's exactly what it should be. And that's fine. Yeah, there are explicit scenes that should not be viewed for kids.
Have you ever seen them actually guarding people when they enter these movies?
Yeah.
Because
it happens in some cinemas.
Because when they say A, they mean 25, I assume.
No,
18.
Not everything else is 25
18.
now. Okay, it's 18.
I know, it's funny, right? Maharashtra has its own rules.
That's a Maharashtra thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
For alcohol.
What's with this micromanagement? Seriously.
Well, that's exactly how this country was won over. Sorry. Anyway. But let me just put it this way.
More intelligent podcast than us.
Seriously. More intelligent podcast. But
let's just talk about
here's the
raps
other thing.
again.
So now the movie The Danish Girl, which came out recently, had everything in it. It had nudity. It had this is
theatrical release.
Yes, and so my cousins went for it, and they said everything was there in it. So how does it make sense? There's no consistency.
Yeah.
I think it's because those guys didn't watch the movie and they couldn't be bothered because it's slightly more intelligent than what they can do. That's what happened. Yes, they were sure, it's fine. The Danish Girl.
Danish kaun hai? Dinesh Girl hai?
Yeah, exactly. That's probably it.
So they just got confused and went home.
There was recently this British filmmaker who made a 10-hour movie of paint drying just to make sure the censor board sat through all of it.
Yes, very true. Yeah, I read this.
He crowdfunded it, and so he had a goal, which I think was 10 hours, and for every £1,000 or whatever was added to it, he added an hour to the movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it was eventually a 12-hour movie.
Yeah, and it was just to piss off the censor board and just say
they
you
actually
have
sat
to watch
through
it.
because they had to.
He should have spliced some stuff in it, very Danny
Some
Boy.
subliminal, sort of
like a middle
punch,
finger.
like Punch Drunk Love, just throw in some really vulgar
man.
subliminal
Anyway,
messages.
so the bottom line is, life sucks. What are we doing here?
I'm moving to Sri Lanka, man. Screw this.
Yeah. But
I doubt it's much better than that.
It's not very better.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to take. I think, definitely the one thing we can do is do this. Social media does have some power. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if it does actually.
Well, that whole save the internet business worked. And the thing is, the CBFC is a separate body from the government technically. And part of the move right now is to get Pahlaj Nihalani out of the picture because he's
out of the picture, pun intended, sorry. Censor him from the board. Yeah.
So I think the move is to replace him as chairman, or basically have them relook at
that
how
guy,
they treat movies
Ashok.
right now.
He's chill. He's a chiller. That's the guy.
Ashoki Pandit.
Ashoki.
Alrighty then.
Awesome guy.
So, give me, on a scale to 1 to 16 fruits, where is Deadpool, man?
Deadpool?
Is it a full basket? Is it a basket? How full is this basket? And how diverse is a basket in its fruit range?
It's a good basket.
Interpret as you will. Interpret that.
It's a good basket. It's missing a few fruits which I like pomegranate and stuff.
Alright.
But
so it's not a tropical.
But it has your banana and it has and literally
standard issue
in the film, and it also has some kadak apples in there.
Yeah.
But it's a full basket. It's just replaced some of those fruits with the other fruits, I suppose.
Yeah. And then our
this
censor
metaphor
board
has gotten away from us.
It's missing a few fruits, but it's a full basket.
Yeah, and then our censor board has censored some of the fruits from being in that. So it's
so there's no skin on some of them. They've taken off they've peeled
They've
off.
peeled it.
They peeled it off. So it's just a just the apple core.
Actually, no, it's more like a coconut. Because you want to eat the good bits, which is inside. You can't eat the
Is that
outside
a fruit?
bit.
Is a coconut a fruit?
Yeah, of course.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
You think it's a nut?
Isn't it?
Oh, it's a nut, sure.
I don't know.
But-
no, I think,
but it's not
you're
a
right.
nut.
I think it's a fruit.
Okay,
It's a fruit.
it's a pineapple then. In that
Okay.
case, it's just prickly outside. and
So how do they
sweet
censor the
inside.
pineapple?
The pineapple is the censorship. You can't eat a pineapple just like
Oh,
you
so they
can't
haven't
bite
opened
into
up.
it.
They haven't opened up
Exactly.
the pineapple for you.
To get to the good aphrodisiac.
That's like teasing
based
you. That's teasing you.
Fruit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Oh,
we're gonna do some. But it was good. It was a good film. I recommend it.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. But I'd recommend waiting for it, like you, Jishnu,
Cool.
to watch it elsewhere.
All right. So if this wasn't random enough, let's talk about some more random stuff.
Random news generator.
Cool. The new Daredevil trailer is out.
That's not random at all.
It's not random, but
is
did you
very
expect it?
random.
Did you expect I was going to say that?
No.
I
Well,
thought as much.
It is random that you said it, yes. But
No,
it looks
I-
good.
It
I
looks
always-
good.
I
but
do the
why
job
is
of-
it? Why are they doing this like part 1, part 2 thing and like
Part one
they
of
put
the trailer.
That I didn't get.
Because I think it's because they want to, like, there's the two story aspects. One is the Punisher one, and the other one is the Elektra one.
This is too much.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Just like too many trailers and just
Don't watch it,
investing in
Vishnu.
these trailers.
That's
They
part
just
of
like,
the. Did you guys see the Star Wars production announcement?
Star Wars, yeah. I
Yeah,
saw
but
that.
like-
Like
Episode
other than the announcement, there's also this video of everyone on set where
Yeah.
you get to see the. Okay, cool.
No, as in, I just saw one video.
There's a video and then there's like a bit of a text post on Facebook.
Text posts.
you're talking about
Love
episode
those.
8, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, I haven't seen the video for that.
So
There's a small
I'll look
video.
it up.
Yeah.
So the last scene from like a slightly different angle is what it is.
In fact, it didn't look like a
with
camera.
the last scene of episode 7?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's there in the. It's,
So you know how you see Luke?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
Luke, but it's a slightly different angle because you start with his face.
and it looks cool.
And it looks cool. It looks
Alright.
really cool. And then you see Ray, and then it suddenly like comes out of that, and you see the crew and stuff going like, "All right,
okay.
we started."
We started production. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's cool. Unnecessary, but cool.
Alright,
But I saw
whatever.
it and I was
That's
just like, okay, it's on now. The game is on again. Yeah, definitely.
So it's just how movies work now.
All right,
Or TV shows.
yeah, Just
Speaking of which, is why so Daredevil.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's on Netflix and now it's almost like a movie event. It's like
Yeah,
it's
it is
like a movie
It is
coming
a movie.
out, right?
It is a movie event. Yeah.
And it's just like that's why I think they need to do, because it's only 13 hours of content. They have to do like 2 trailers. I'm getting
Only
13
13 hours
No.
of content.
No, I
That's longer than the Hobbit trilogy,
No,
and that was stupid
No,
long.
I meant it in the reverse fashion. It's
Yeah,
like that. It's
yeah.
only 13 hours. But yeah, my thing is that they want to get people into the overall story of it, and one overall part of the arc is obviously the Punisher, who looks amazing. He
Looks
looks
great.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And just like some of the conflict between them has come out directly from the comics. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks
it looks
more
great. It looks dirtier than the first
dirtier.
one.
Yeah,
I love
it looks
I love it.
and the suit is holding up.
Also,
Yeah.
there's that line where he says,
One bad day.
One bad day.
One ba- yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
one
Killing
bad day away
Joke,
from it.
right?
Killing Joke.
Is that a reference? Is like they've done that on purpose? I'm assuming.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, also it's...
Or is there like
It's
it's a common
Alan
line?
Moore definitely coined a lot of the things that are being used.
Yeah.
Especially, like Alan Moore from Watchmen, a lot of that is used in...
Is used in
was in
different ways,
Heroes, the end first season where
Oh,
they
really?
decide... Yeah, so in the end of the first season of Heroes, is they say, we're going to kill off so many people to save a lot of other people. So that was one thing. Then The Incredibles referenced the whole retirement of superheroes. That's a very Watchmen concept. I mean, so Alan Moore has
there's
done
a
a first for a
concept in
lot of-
general, yeah.
He did the first one
There's a
of it
great
all.
joke in 30 Rock where it's a picture of that of who's the main hero?
Of what?
Of what?
Mr.
Of
Incredible?
Heroes?
Oh, of Heroes, Peter Petrelli.
No, the other one.
Nathan Petrelli?
No, the freeze time guy.
Hiro Nakamura.
Hiro Nakamura. That's why he's the main
Yeah.
guy. Where it's this like catalog with a picture of him says like, "Don't be a no, damn it."
You cannot have not
I
know the
am-
name and the joke.
I
and the
need a
Be a
punchline.
hero,
Yeah.
not a zero? Like what?
No, so the entire joke there is his name is Hero and
Yeah.
he's on the show Heroes, but they
Yes.
don't use the word hero in the tagline and they say like, "Be a good guy."
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
okay, I
okay.
get
Like,
it.
well, they
it.
seem to have
Alright.
missed an opportunity there.
Yeah, nice.
Alright.
Very 30 Rock. Yeah, so anyway,
Yeah, no.
excited about
Of
Daredevil.
course, yeah, very excited.
Very excited.
Yeah.
And
Excited to see get to know about Elektra.
Here's the other thing.
all that.
Am I
Great.
mistaken in saying this? But has Punisher been given his own solo series?
Not yet.
No,
But is that
not I
because
know
I've
of.
just been reading a lot about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, in the comment
It's
section of
in-
most of it.
I think they're in talks, but
yeah,
not yet.
I think they're just really
Like, there's
happy.
no official announcement
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
They'll wait like 24 hours and see how many millions of views the show gets, and then be like, okay, cool.
Out of which Jishnu's will not be one.
Did you guys see
Of
the
course,
Punisher
okay, right?
movie?
Hello,
What?
Netflix?
Oh wait, no, you're talking about the trailer. I thought.
Not the trailer. I'm talking about the show.
Okay,
They'll
cool.
wait until the show releases so people can actually see the thing, and then they'll be like, all right, it's got like 15 million views in like a day,
Right.
so let's make this
Right,
damn
right,
thing.
right,
Yeah, of
right,
course.
Did you guys see the Punisher movie?
Both.
No,
They were
I've not.
cool.
Yeah, one was Warzone and one was the original Punisher with Thomas Jane. And
Yeah.
then there was a short film which he made after Warzone,
Yeah.
which was called Dirty Laundry, and it was
How
excellent.
do we like
And
them?
that was a really good
and
one.
Ron Perlman was in
With
it.
that guy. And yeah,
When did they come out?
Which one?
Dirty
All
Laundry
of the
was a little while back.
So the Thomas Jane Punisher came out in 2006, Warzone came out in 2010, and Dirty Laundry came out in 2012.
Warzone, I didn't see.
That was the one with Ray Stevenson, the guy who plays the bearded guy from the Thor's 3 Men. Yeah,
Oh, right.
Ray Stevenson is in everything.
Oh, nice.
Right.
The guy with the big red beard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
the bushy
also
beard.
he's also this guy in G.I. Joe, the sequel.
Who's in G.I. Joe?
Ray Stevenson.
Who is he in G.I.
I
Joe?
can't remember.
I
He's
cannot
a middle of the
picture
main
this
bad
guy. Who is Ray Stevenson?
Ray Stevenson is
remember
in everything.
Thor's like his team of like 4 other guys.
The Brothers 3.
So
What is it called?
yeah.
The something 3?
Yeah,
the Warriors 3.
The Warriors 3. So there's the
Yeah.
one guy who looks like Errol Flynn, who's like an archer.
That's what
like,
he's saying in the first movie. He's like, I
Yeah.
got Jackie Chan, I got
Yeah,
Robin
yeah.
Hood, and I got Xena.
Yeah, so there's Xena, the girl, Lady Sif or whatever.
Sif, yeah.
So there's the dashing swashbuckling dude.
What's his
And-
name?
I forget his name. I can't remember.
Faramir?
Yeah, basically. And then
Sorry.
there's,
Whoops.
and
Wrong
then,
universe.
then there's the tall Gimli, the guy that looks like Gimli, only
Tall
like
Gimli.
not a dwarf.
Tall
And
Gimli.
that is Ray
That's
Stevenson?
him. Yeah.
He's in
I
everything,
vaguely
dude. He's in
remember.
like you'll be surprised. You'll
He's
must see
one of
guy.
those.
He's that guy.
He's one of
He's
those.
guys.
He's in that pantheon of like
Yeah.
Of that guy.
of that
Of that guys.
guys.
So yeah, Ray Stevens
Cool.
is excellent, and he was Punisher for a bit, and that was actually a really good movie.
Did he have red hair
Jane
for that?
also like a good
Did he have red
Punisher.
hair for that, or what, did he dye his hair black or like?
What?
Doesn't because he has red hair in Thor.
Oh no, he had in Warzone. You're talking about?
Yeah,
Punisher.
when he was Punisher.
No, he was just a normal Punisher. Like he had black hair.
That's what I'm asking about.
Yeah.
I know he's a normal.
No, obviously
Punisher.
you don't give Punisher red hair.
Cool. That's,
so what is
that's
he,
all I
like,
wanted to
He was
know.
just normal the Punisher.
That's all I wanted to know.
He was just a normal the Punisher.
He punished as you would expect him to punish.
Yeah,
Cool.
he punished like a the Punisher would.
yeah.
Moving swiftly forward. All right, what do you have?
Like any other the Punisher.
You go.
Archie Comics
Yes.
announced that
What?
Jughead is asexual now. Like that's his official.
Oh wait, this is going
This is-
completely south of
this
what I was
is-
thought you were
This
going
is
to
what I
say.
say.
What?
The horror thingy.
I read that Riverdale is going to be a series on the CW.
Whoa!
And
yeah.
that- yes.
Holy hell.
Yeah, that changes things.
So I actually had like 3 pieces of news there. A, the Jughead thing. B, the series on the CW, which is like the perfect place for it.
Yeah.
And 3, Archie Horror Comics, which is like this reimagination
It's like
of
Goosebumps, but with Archie.
Yes.
It's called Archie and the Afterlife or something like that.
correct.
Yeah.
Archie and the
So a lot happening in Riverdale.
So it's
Dude, Riverdale is on
wait.
fire.
So is it like American Horror Story, but like in Riverdale?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of ghosts.
So
of Archie
of
and his
late,
friends.
Archie's been having a lot of like
Stuff
I
going
mean,
on,
yeah.
man. Have you seen the one where Archie dies?
No.
I've read that series.
No.
He
That
gets
was, what, 2
shot.
years back?
Yeah, he gets shot trying to save somebody.
What?
One of his
Yeah,
friends.
Why are there guns in Riverdale? What's that?
Dude,
Is this like a Columbine?
Skin's
Like, is this like
Because Riverdale is real now.
Is this a political
yeah, kind of.
awareness
It's
thing?
a
Yeah,
conscious move they're
it's a
making
conscious
to like
movement.
make it feel more current. Because
Oh,
Archie was always
damn.
like it always seemed like it
Set
was
in the 50s.
It was set in the
yeah.
50s, yeah, exactly.
Here's the other thing, by the
was
way.
like Green
A
Hills and
really
everything.
good segue. Not segue, but a great, like, the Punisher was in the Archie comics.
Yes.
Do you remember this?
What does it even mean?
Yeah, because
What do you
this is
mean?
a time when Marvel and I think what's the Archie publishing label? I think Liberty Comics or something like that. They had like a crossover event, and the Punisher visits
Archie meets the Punisher.
Yeah,
I think it
Archie
was
meets
called.
the Punisher,
And what happened?
and everyone's fine because the Punisher is.
He's just a normal the
So he
Punisher.
was not, no. Therefore, he is not a normal the Punisher because he did not punish as he was made
no,
to
I'm
do.
sure he punishes somebody in
So
it.
how did he punish? How did he punish? Archie? How did he punish?
He didn't
Archie?
punish Archie because Archie is a normal Archie, but the Punisher. Now that's something.
Yeah. I forget the exact storyline, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh my God.
it was pretty surreal.
Out of all the crossovers,
Wow.
Archie and Sabrina, obviously, because they're set in the same universe, Archie meets the Punisher, and then there's, if I'm not mistaken, there must be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover there
I
somewhere.
think
there's
yeah,
something
I
like
feel
that.
like
there was
was
definitely one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's my next question:
Uh-oh.
Is the Flash gonna feature in Riverdale?
What?
Boom.
Why would?
Because they're both on CW. So
Oh.
very possible.
Yeah. I mean, then
And
anybody.
The
Could.
Flash is a character straight out of.
Like-
I mean, he could
he
live in
could-
the
yeah,
Archie
he
world.
He could live in any.
He could have grown up in Riverdale. Like
he
that
could have been in Gilmore Girls.
Grant
he could have
Gustin,
been in.
if he had red
he
hair,
could have been
could
in
actually
Gossip
be
Girl.
Archie.
That's true. Grant Gustin is Archie.
That's very true.
And
Just
he
give him
has
some
a Betty
freckles.
and Veronica
Just
also.
draw like 3 freckles on his
Yes.
cheek and.
Yeah, he has a Betty and Veronica.
Damn.
Oh my god. That's so
This is-
cool. Dude, we're
We
breaking.
need a whole
and
episode
the
on
Flash
this.
and The Punisher.
Oh my god! Just a normal The Flash.
Dude, we are
Normal The
breaking
Punisher.
through boundaries
This
of the multiverse, man. Like Flash hasn't ever.
Son. We need
Wow.
to sell. We need to sell this to those guys like ASAP.
But do you think because of a lasting relationship with Marvel and the Riverdale, like whatever, Archie Comics, will they not like let that happen?
Anything's possible at
Anything's
this point,
possible.
man. Anything's possible. Jeez.
Wow, on that ultimately nerdy note, let us end today. But do you have a bit?
I do, but it's
Okay.
kind of stupid.
No, go for it.
Dude, nothing can top Riverdale and
Nothing
Punisher.
can
bro.
stop this, man. Because it's already happened. I don't know why this was like newsworthy. I saw this today and I was like, I'm pretty sure this has been around for a while.
Right.
Monopoly.
Tell us, we will not
Monopoly.
punish you for
The Monopoly board game
Yeah.
is no longer making. They're no longer making the game with cash. It's now all credit cards.
Was it
And
Bitcoin?
And it's Paytm. It's RuPay.
It's Rupee.
No, they've had the credit card thing for a while. It's been around, but I
Yeah.
guess now that it's like, nope, we're done with cash.
Dude, thank God. You know I hate carrying cash around, right?
I've never finished that game other than with iPad.
What? Oh yeah, iPad.
I played on the iPad and I can finish in 20 minutes, but I've never finished the actual board game. And I think the money has a lot to do with that. The physical money. Just
also-
counting and doing the calculation yourself.
Also, just the amount of bad vibes it's created
Yeah,
between
yeah,
friends and stuff. Yeah, Monopoly is
It's the kind of game that ideally should be left alone after 45 minutes. Like,
Everyone needs that space
Let's
now.
do something else now.
No, but then like somebody's obviously ahead at the end of 45 minutes, so that guy's a dick.
Yeah,
the rest of the night.
exactly. It's a
Yeah.
hate crime, that game.
And then
man.
everybody's like, schmuck you schmuck.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
You know, it
nice
can never
reference.
end well.
Hey, nice reference.
That was a throwback.
But yeah, man, I think the weirdest Monopoly I ever saw was not Star Wars. What was it? It was Disney Princesses. No, it was something Disney Junior or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you could buy, like horses or something. I don't know, man.
Ponies.
They have made every version of Monopoly that is possible, man. It's quite insane the reach of that game. Like that is.
Yeah.
I think it's just because it was cheap.
I think
you
it's
know,
brilliant
like,
because Monopoly is just it is a very simple.
it's not
In
simple.
its sense, no. In its essence, it's just a very simple
think it's just because-
building blocks that it's got. They're like very few layers to it. You just have to think about a bunch of places, and then like think about something that belongs to all of them, which is in this case the hotel or the whatever the houses. I guess.
Yeah.
So like let's say if you had put it in terms of like pick a universe. You said I don't know.
Yeah,
Riverdale.
Star Wars. There's been a Star Wars one. There's been Riverdale would be great.
Yeah, you pick Riverdale and like you get what you buy classrooms, I guess, and
Or pop dates.
or something like
You
that.
can still buy houses. Riverdale has houses.
Well, I mean the school. I mean the school.
But it would
Like,
be so
just
funny
in
if
general.
Bernie Sanders becomes the president and then you have to have like a not a capitalistic version of looking and become like a socialist monopoly.
Do you think Bernie Sanders looks like Weatherby? No. Almost.
Wow, we cannot
He
cross
looks a
over
little
so
bit.
much.
He looks a little bit like kind of like Mr. Burns, but like Mr. Burns like after
Yeah,
like
he
5
does
shots.
look-
He's like
yeah.
Mr. Burns after 5 shots of tequila.
It's almost the opposite of Mr. Burns though.
Yeah, he is.
He
exact
looks like
opposite.
Larry David is what it is.
Dude, that Larry David
Oh, you
sketch,
saw that sketch? That was a
was
great
the
sketch. That was
funniest
so
ever.
good.
He's got his character
Yeah,
down.
that
Man,
was
Larry
amazing.
David is so amazing. But yeah, Bernie Sanders making socialist monopoly. I think that's the future of
That'd be great.
monopoly.
Everybody just gets the same amount of everything.
Everyone will have equal wages, and nobody will be able to collect $200 from passing.
You know, like how he uses his hands, like he's always hitting everything with every word he makes. The board would not stay on the table for more than a minute, but it's okay because it's free.
You also made him into. Who does that guy sound like? Is that
This guy?
Yeah.
I don't know who this guy was.
That was a good Bernie Sanders, but also meets like. God damn it, I can't remember it. Like it sounds very familiar. Well, not bad. In this show, we've had every time Dinkar is here, we do impressions.
Hey, yeah.
man.
So
do you want to bust out an Alan Rickman?
once you say goodbye, once you say goodbye, as Alan. Oh, actually, tell the wonderful people out there where they can like get a hold of us and all that. Blah
As
blah blah.
Bernie Sanders. I
As
think you
Bernie
should do it
Sanders.
as Bernie Sanders.
Do it as Bernie Sanders.
Oh man, I don't have a Bernie Sanders in my pocket. But all right.
Yeah, you do.
You can find us on Geek Fruit HQ on all social media. For the middle class and the rest of the classes, really.
Oh man.
Go
that was
on.
Oh, is
excellent.
there more?
Yeah,
Please
we have
continue
other
with-
ways to contact us.
Oh yeah. Also,
Email.
talk to us on contactgeekfruit@gmail.com.
And what will you promise those people? Equal wages.
We'll write back. It's about the best I can do for you.
Equal amount of replies to every person, 100 characters minimum for free. You don't have to stand in line. You get it the day you're born. I'll tweet at you. Just hashtag
That was great
the
though.
burn. We're missing something.
Oh, we have a website, by
there's
the
a
way.
website.
Oh.
Mr. Senator, there's a website.
Yeah.
Please.
Apologies. It's geekfruit. Is that a thing Bernie Sanders said? That felt like something.
He's never apologized in his life.
Okay, to summarize, I'm losing. I'm like slipping in and out now. All right, geekfruit.in is our website. Our social media handle on all social media.
Is this what you sound like with a cold or a cold?
I wish my voice does not have this much gravitas usually. Geek Fruit HQ on all social media. Geekfruit.in as our website. Contact geekfruit@gmail.com is where you can write to us. And we can be pen pals and whatnot. That'll be nice.
You know what pen pals was a big part of? Archie comics.
That's true.
And Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
She was teenage. If that's the question you had. I'm not sure. Yes.
So the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Anyway.
Let's do this. This is great.
Let's just go
Thank you
home.
guys.
Let's
See
go
ya.
home.
Thank you, Dinkar, for being on this episode. We'll see you guys
Thanks, guys.
at Comic-Con. I mean, we have seen you at Comic-Con technically this last weekend. Cool. See ya. Bye.
All right, nerds.
When this podcast is over, then you have my permission to die.
Hey, man. Are you hungry?
I'm
We're perpetually hungry.
I'm peckish.
All right. Then, when about the time you get hungry, you should definitely listen to the podcast. Podcast. It's spelled powd because
It's a pun.
No, it's not really.
It's not a pun.
No, it is a pun.
It is a pun.
Basically, their website is called the Daily Pow.
Look, is it a pun or not?
It's a pun. It's a pun.
Is it fun?
It's fun, I guess.
Then do it.
All right. So, if you like listening to our show, then you should definitely check out the podcast because they're also pretty like indie and stuff, and they have a website called the Daily Pow, and they review a lot of things in and around the city, like food and culture spots and city secrets. I don't know what those are, by the way. Are there like secrets in the city that we don't know about? And they talk about like the real gems of Bombay. So if you like it, then you should definitely check it out. It's done by Purva Mehra, Pranoti Datta, and Amit Gurbaksani, who's like a great music journalist. And yeah, they're really good at it.
They are very charming people.
They're awesome. Yeah, we just met them, and they're really great. And their podcast is great as well.
It's a fun pun.
And you can find it on ivmpodcast.com. Not podcasts. The podcast can be found on IVM Podcasts. Not podcast. ivmpodcast.com.